And it was a pretty good session. Many things, you take everything into account. But let's go over it all right now. We've got the investment pros. NewOak Capital President Jim Frischling's back with us. Here, we've spent a lot of coming off 4% declines have been buy signals, so 8% was a lot.
You mentioned the economic data. I'd say mixed. On the U.S., manufacturing data, very good. In Europe, in China, it was very poor. I think the earnings still, we're enjoying all the beats, and do not underestimate the surprise stimulus by the Bank of Japan, and don't underestimate the signaling by the ECB. And I know we don't want to talk about central bank stimulus, but I'm telling you, the markets are loving this because
although we're done with QE. All right, Matt just talked about this BlackRock thing. 63% of everyone in cash. They say it makes them feel safe, or they're cautious with their money, or they like the flexibility, the options of sitting on all that cash. But it's going to make you work a lot longer in the older age.
Well, what I like about the chart, investors make terrible traders. And what I mean by that is the ability to pick and time the short-term market movements. So I do like what you were putting up there, which is if you see a company you like, if you have a strategy you like, stick with it. Be more intentional. Be more almost systematic about it. But in terms of that fear factor that you're discussing, timing matters too. You can enter a market fully at the wrong time, and that will have a huge effect on your return. So I agree with Matt's point. There was a pullback, about 10%. And people did not step into the market the way they talked about it. So I don't know what they're
although
I think we have a little tiering issue here, though. I don't even think it's an income inequality issue as much as it is how did you make your money and what did you bring to society? What did you create? I actually think it started as an attack on the financial industry, attack on Wall Street, because there really is no products being made. And the idea was, I think that's where the attack started.
Although that's a populist thing, though. I mean, listen, there are people who are going to go to a factory tomorrow somewhere in the Midwest that was funded by money raised on Wall Street.
Absolutely, but no one's mad at Steve. No one's mad at Oprah. No one's mad at Steve Jobs. They made their money. They created products. Everyone's touting, love their wealth. But I think there's a lot of financial engineering. We talked about on your show recently about Hillary Clinton's comments. She went very far left with that knock on business creating jobs. Obama won. Look, the economy was not in great shape a couple of years ago, and it was the Republicans and Romney's opportunity.
Well,
he should have lost on the economy, and he won anyway.
Romney or Trump would both be better than Hillary. What in the hell has she done?
You would say if I did have such a team in the basement as a president, I'd never have a market crash under my watch.
I mean, I'm not ready to go conspiracy theory, but I'd say the following. If you wanted to create this surprise, you'd have to call one country, call the Saudis and say, ramp up oil production, which is what has happened. The price of oil has dropped because of global production. And now, look, it's going to hurt a number of industries, certainly a number of states, but transportation is going to benefit. The consumer, huge benefit. I mean, I've been telling Heath I was a little less bullish as she was on holiday shopping. I've now thrown in the towel on that because I think the consumer feels very good about paying less at the pump. So again, that would take one country to do that, and the Saudis are doing it.
Or you have enough people like what Jim said going, wait a minute, why are the Saudis being so nice or doing that?
I don't believe in conspiracy theory. But look, I think the job improvements, if you have a job, Matt's been talking about it. If you have a job, you're going to stick with the incumbent. You'll stay the course. And with the price of oil going lower, gas prices cheaper, I'm not calling it a surprise.
Well, how about this stat? 6 years ago.
But even in the Rock the Vote video, which I caught wind of on the Democrat side.
That's so 70s or 80s.
The fact is they didn't even mention the economy. And I think the Democrats, unfortunately, or it is what it is, are missing the biggest issues, which are actually affecting, or which are on voters' minds.
But they're getting elected.
If we move to our nicknames, James to Jimmy went to 7-6, Charles to Charlie, not that anyone down calling you Charlie, went down to 3-3. So Jimmy spiked to 7-6.
It's all about the legal name, though. I mean, that's not.
What do you think, Jim?
No, I think the growing awareness of the security solutions, the tailwinds behind this thing are very strong and should keep this thing going for the next several quarters. They've made smart acquisitions, anti-malware, anti-phishing. They're in the right place at the right time, and again, they're going to benefit from it.
Yeah, I know that. What are we missing?
Look, to me, it is about the economy. It is about jobs, and neighboring states are competing for businesses. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but there are certain states, the Texas, the Tennessee, that win companies. They move and watch the governors go after each other because the fact is that's a referendum on who's going to be competing to bring companies.
Do you think that's fair? Some people are saying that that's a form of manipulation. That it's not right, and the money comes out of someone's pocket, usually the citizens.
Yeah, and the fact is, should these folks be picking winners and losers? But the fact is, they want the jobs, and they're going to use the incentives to try to bring companies across the line. So even our own tri-state area, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, they're all trying to recruit companies to join. And I think a
company would be nuts to move to New York.